Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tongue's Top Picks, here to bring you your weekly flesh and blood market update. There's a lot to go through, and I only have a little time, so let's jump right in. Okay, mixed market this week, but I'd say mostly to the positive side. We do have a few, I don't know if I'd call them crashes, but deep dives. And then we have quite a few big jumps in the space. I think even one I talked about last week as a potential. So yeah, WTR down 7.95%. This is unlimited boxes to $81 from $88. It's a new dip. We haven't seen it this low in a while, so a little concerning. We'll see if these hold up. Remember, we don't really have, or we do have a grasp on the numbers, but we don't know how much is left in market because there's just a bunch that got released as that additional wave for that Return to Wrath event that happened. We did see the numbers that have been published, so check those out on the Fab TCG site. Crew down 11.24% to 79 from 89. This is just reversion to the mean. We're back to where we've been. Nothing crazy there. Honorable mention to ARC Unlimited cases jumping up to 499 from 477, just shy of that 5% mark that we like to track for the heat map. Crew is up 6.67% to 368 from 345. That's a nice jump, but not quite as high as it was 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of like the rubber band effect. I think we even talked about this, how this came down pretty quick, and let's see if it bounces back. I think that's what we're seeing here. Should be a little V in the charts. We'll look at that. Tales of Aria, unlimited case down, up 7.04% to 228 from 213. Again, reversion to the mean, same number it was 2 weeks ago. Crew first edition boxes, this one's kind of the highlight of the day, jumped up to 807. There's only like 9 left on the market. It is kind of crazy. This is the first edition boxes of an early set, which had a limited print run, as we've seen from the print run numbers. I think Crew was the one that had the least in total between unlimited and limited, and first edition, I guess. So this is a significant marker of the market change that may be coming down the pipe. I would keep an eye on any volatility around supply and or sales for WTR and ARC, because I have a feeling that despite this being supplemental and these being draftable, this may be a canary in the coal mine for the rest of the market, the early stuff. We're getting new waves of players every day, we know. We get new collectors that are interested in buying the older stuff. And essentially, anytime there's going to be, my guess is anytime there's a deal or what appears to be a deal on these, and we know the price has been pretty steady around these areas for a while, but if it drips down at all, you're going to see a buy up. And we were talking about this with Crew, I believe last week, maybe the week before, where it just kept dripping down, and eventually it becomes like this buy opportunity that you just can't ignore, and apparently that happened. Now, question is, does the market come and fill in? Are there boxes sitting on shelves that were waiting for a buyer, and this is now their time to move? That's what we'll have to watch in the next week or two, because that kind of jump attracts attention. That's no small thing. So with something like this, that's where people will say, "Oh, I got a box. I'm gonna put that up for sale." Right? Hasn't seen this price in a while. All right, moving on to Mon. It jumped 15.15% to 114 from 99. Again, reversion to the mean. We talked about this bouncing in this channel. It did come back up because remember we said this was lower than it should have been. Basically, it was below where the channel had been historically, so it had fallen out of it. But it bounced back up into it. Now, question is, does this continue higher to match back at the top? Because you'll note this 114, while it's a red, it is lower than our previous kind of floor area, this 110, 119 range. I mean, I guess it's in line with it, but if this is the up and the up is now the bottom, we'll look at the chart so I can explain this a little clearer. But if basically the previous floor is now the ceiling and this drops down after this, then we know we've fallen out of the channel completely. We won't know that till next week, week after sort of thing, but something to keep an eye on. Honorable mention to Tales of Aria, down 4.35% to 66 from 69. Nothing special here. I mean, it's Tales of Aria. I guess it is a new low, recent low, because we've been in this 80s range forever, but seeing it drip down a little bit really doesn't surprise me too much. Everfest, down 8.06% to 57 from 62. We have not seen this price in a while, so this might be somewhat of a people are getting bored of that product, or the cards aren't as interesting with the new meta, things like that. That does happen. I would say a lot of this volatility in whole we're seeing as a result of both the new meta in Skirmish, for one, because I can confirm that our shop has been selling crazy amounts of Skirmish sets, like 2-ofs and stuff like that. It stopped as of a few days ago because I'm guessing a lot of people had their skirmishes over the weekend, but or maybe it's this week, you know what I mean? Like they did the mail, they ordered it in time to get for their skirmish, which may be this week, next week, etc. Point being, at this point, they probably feel like they cannot get it in time, so those sales have slowed down. The 2-ofs, the meta within the competitive blitz scene and that sort of thing has very much slowed down. Starting to see collectors pick up, foils, collectibles, etc. are starting to sell, so that's kind of the new situation. And I think you probably Everfest, a lot of these drips down may be related to that. You know, boxes have been cracked, people are done buying, and we're going to see a quieting on that side of the market. But it is heating up in general, I would say, as a whole market, and that may be reflective of people trying to replace their stock of cards and things like that. Anyways, moving on to, I guess, crew again. This is the cases reflective of the move. It's smaller, but it's still there to $3,000. That probably creates an ARB opportunity, I'm guessing. But we'll have to take a look at the chart. 36.38% up to $299 from $21.99. So basically up to $3,000. We have not seen this price for quite some time, since back here. So I would expect this to attract attention again. We might see some supply come to the market, but there's not that much out there, so it's questionable whether that happens. And then Tales of Aria, 6.59. This first edition cases down 6.59 to 255 from 273, a continual slump that we have seen. All right, I did want to point out a few things. Meta. Well, I guess predicting the meta. Tekla Foundry Heart, because of this new bright light set that's only mechanologists. Really interesting concept. Crack and play, fast play, new mecha characters. Like, it just has a lot of new stuff going on for mecha. And obviously the core of Mechanologist Chest is just the Tekla Foundry Heart is just a key card for a mechanologist in the current way of building and thinking about it. So therefore we expect this will probably continue to have value. The big point here was that I think it was like, what was it earlier? There's definitely been a ton of sales. It was like $80 when the news hit. I think that's about right. Yeah, it was around 80. And we saw the Discord like went nuts. It was like, oh, I got one for this amount, whatever. But it went from like 80 to 120 in like 20 minutes. It was ridiculous. We were all kind of watching it live. As soon as the news hit, it happened, and it jumped really fast. So, yep, that's probably where it's going to peak, and it'll probably cool off as we get closer to the set and wait, and maybe some reveals say that you don't need that chess piece, or there's a better chess piece, or whatever, right? This tends to happen around a set release. This is previewed as possibly interesting with some of the new transformation stuff. I don't know that this deck will go with it, but I did want to note that the price had jumped up on the cold foil, and well, actually in general, the price just kind of doubled across the board. The foil was 15, 10, etc. Now it's 20. The cold foil was, I thought I saw one, cold foil. Well, I guess the cold foil didn't jump that much. It's basically the same. It jumped up like 20% or something like that. So yeah, mecha stuff is moving. Same with high octane. Again, was $10. Now it's $20. For the foil, or for the normal. I'm sorry, for the foil, for the normal, it was a couple bucks, and basically you can just tell there's a ton of sales happening all at once because the new announcement. Same thing with Teklo Core. This one jumped. This is going to be a key card, I imagine, because it's just useful in Mechanologist. All right, onto the charts really quickly. Let's see. We'll just go really fast through these. Oh my God, the chart is so long now. Let's see if I can stretch it out for you. There we go. All right. WTR. Yeah, here we go. So the premium's back. The boxes fell off. ARC. There's an ARB opportunity, but not worth noting. Crew, this was the one I was really interested in. Okay, so the Crew, there is no ARB opportunity on the Unlimited, but Unlimited was not the major hit. It was the first edition. Monarch, they have converged. We might get an ARB opportunity there. Tails, always silly. Very silly. All right. I'm so sick of unlimited charts. I really wish unlimited didn't exist anymore. I mean, I like it because it's interesting when it moves, but oftentimes it is just like, why are there two different types? All right, here's our crew jump. This is what I was actually interested in. Okay. So, yeah, they're comparable with a, ooh, sheesh, $57 ARB opportunity. So you could buy the case, crack it, sell it for 807. Now, high risk move, guys. High risk move. But $50 a box, $200 a case. I could see someone taking advantage of that or trying to do that. But basically what it boils down to, especially if they manage to get it like a lot lower, this would be the time. If you bought one of these cases when we were talking about, let's see where the bottom is, right? This would be a pretty nice crack and sell opportunity because you're going to be able to sell them for maybe not this 800, but even if it was like this price, you're still making out like a bandit, right? So it's one of those things like you got to keep an eye on these charts. I was surprised that this moved so quickly. I didn't expect that. I imagine someone just bought a bunch of them because they either wanted it or were a collector or something like that, and it kind of dried the market out. That's when these volatile moves. So here's the thing. Wait, let's go back to that. Here's what we want to look out for. What happens over the next week? Because this happened on both case and box level. So it makes me think that this is a true like emptying of the market, which usually will lead to a new plateau price. Question mark, because we've watched this come down. We've seen this action before. I really wouldn't be surprised if we get a channel here that's like maybe here, like half as high as that previous high. But who knows? This is a very volatile area because the supply is so uncertain as to what's left in the market, what's unopened, etc. Monarch, nothing crazy there. Everything's in normal stance. $2 ARB on Tales of Aria, our dinosaur chart. Oh my. That's a major shift for EVR. Yeah, something weird is going on here. I don't. Maybe new supply hit the market, or maybe word of unlimited hit one of the trade magazines or something. Anyone hear about that out there? Is unlimited coming to market end of year or something? That would definitely dump this price. Uprising. Yep. All these sets are the 2.0 are still in this like figuring it out mode. $6 ARB. Couple dollar ARB. And nothing too special with Dynasty and Dust Till Dawn and all that. All right, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, do all those things. Really appreciate you guys. Leave me a comment. I do enjoy them. I will say someone left a comment, is Fab dead based on last week's cool market? No, absolutely not. As you can tell from the heat map, there's still some life in her. I was like, no, I don't think Fab is dead. Our singles market was going insane. And it was really funny to see once that mecha announcement came out, I got like a dozen mecha orders like all at once, like within 20 seconds or 20 minutes or something like that. It was funny. I was like, oh, the store just lit up. I guess the news is hitting the internet in a stronger way. So pretty cool to see live. It's one thing that's fun to have a shop to see those sorts of things. Anyways, I hope you guys are having fun cracking packs and enjoying this hobby that we love. Until next time, have a good one.